Hey guys, if you're ready to create an awesome reading list, then you have clicked on the right video because I am here to help you decide on your fall reading list. The first book I would like to recommend is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This story is about a young woman who arrives at an estate and she becomes a governess. She wants to find love, independence, and her own identity. I loved reading this book. I cannot wait to reread it, and this is an edition of Chiltern Classics. Next, I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So this one is about a passionate and destructive love affair, and it comes with horrible consequences to their loved ones and to their family. I also want to mention that if you're not used to reading classic literature, then I would not recommend it because it's rather a difficult book to follow. There are many characters, also many characters with the same names. I only understood the novel when I read it a second time when I went really in depth, keeping track of the family trees, etc. So yeah, not an easy book at all, but it is brilliant and it is gothic and it is gloomy and it is so good. Next one I would like to recommend, and I don't have an edition of it, is Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is about a man who travels to a mansion and he gets to know Count Dracula and his horrible secrets. You probably, hopefully, know that it is a vampire story, and it is also good to know that the story unfolds itself in diary form. Next one is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This is about a doctor who creates a monster and then the monster starts killing. It is very descriptive, it is beautifully written, there's a lot of love for nature in this book, and I really enjoyed reading it. Next one, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This novel focuses on courtship in the 19th century, and we follow the spirited Elizabeth, who falls in love with the proud Mr. Darcy. Next, The Picture of Dorian Gray. This is one of my favorites. I love the atmosphere of this novel. This is about a very handsome man. He fears growing old and losing his beauty, and so he sells his soul to remain forever young. Amazing novel, short, perfect for fall. If you're enjoying this video, do not forget to click the like button. It helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. The next one shouldn't come as a surprise. It is Notre-Dame de Paris, or The Hunchback of Notre-Dame by Victor Hugo. This is one of my favorite novels of all time. This is a good one to read during the fall and winter period because it is a dark, gothic and gloomy novel. It's a heavy read. It is not an easy read. So again, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend this one. But if you're a more experienced reader with the classics, then I highly recommend you try this. Once you get into the story, it is mind-blowing. It is so good. It tells the story of the deformed bell ringer Quasimodo who falls in love with the gypsy girl Esmeralda. There are a lot of other men too who fall in love with her beauty, and it causes all kinds of tragedies. Weyward by Amelia Hart is another one that I would like to recommend. We follow two storylines. In the first one, we follow a woman who is convicted to death and she awaits her trial, and we get to know what happened, what caused her imprisonment. In the second storyline, we follow a woman who is living right now in this time, and she is running from her abusive husband. She goes to live in a cabin in the woods and she starts digging into her past. She uncovers secrets about her family history and why her life is connected to the other woman's life. In The Whispering Muse, we follow a woman who goes to work at a theater, and suddenly all kinds of strange things are going on. People die during the plays and she tries to find out what is going on. Next, I would like to recommend Thérèse Raquin by Émile Zola. This is an amazing French novel. This is about Thérèse who starts an affair with the best friend of her husband, who is called Laurent, and they believe that they are meant to be together. They are so happy, and then they decide to kill the husband and to be free of him. I highly recommend this one. It is so good. Next, I have The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. This is about a young and talented opera singer, Christine, and she attracts the attention of a disfigured and mysterious man living at the opera house. Of course, this masked man becomes obsessed with her. I highly recommend this read. It is a very good one. Then I have Horrid by Katrina Lino. This is the typical haunted house family story. If you're looking for a light and easy read, then I can recommend this one. Next, I have The Warlow Experiment by Alex Nathan. This really impressed me. I want to reread it one day because it was really good. I personally really enjoyed it. This is about a man who agrees on participating in an experiment, and he gets locked up into a basement to see what the long-term effect is of this solitude. It's a really interesting concept. It's a captivating book, and I can highly recommend it. Next, I have Birdbox by Josh Malerman. So I actually saw the movie Birdbox. I haven't read this one, but I did read the sequel because I got it as a gift. And this was really good. I enjoyed it so much, and the story made sense to me because I saw the movie and then I read the second part. It's a bit weird, but it is mysterious, it is a bit sci-fi, and I can highly recommend these two books. I actually don't know if there's a third novel in this series. It felt finished, so I don't think there's a third one. The story is about the arrival of mysterious creatures who drive people insane and make people aggressive and kill each other. And so they need to wear blindfolds to prevent seeing these creatures and go mad. And the story follows a woman who is traveling across the country to get her kids and herself to safety wearing blindfolds all the time. Next, I have The Honey and the Sting by E.C. Fremantle. Don't know how to pronounce it. This book was phenomenal. I loved it. It's kind of a thriller, which I don't normally read, but we follow a woman who is fleeing from her abusive husband. She hasn't seen him in years, and she has raised their kid by herself. But one day, he decides to come and find her and track her down. This kept me at the edge of my seat, you guys, and I cannot wait to reread it one day. And the last one that I want to recommend is The Animals of Lockwood Manor by Jane Healy. I can't really say that I enjoyed this a lot, but I did want to recommend it because it fits into the fall theme. So we follow a woman and she arrives at an estate where they keep a collection of dead animals. And one by one, these animals start to get missing. She has a feeling of being followed and so on. It's a mystery and it stays kind of vague. And I think the main thing is the relationship between her and this other woman that she falls in love with. Concerning my own fall reading list, I have selected a couple of books. And the first one is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I have seen the movie, and I didn't know there was a book of it, and I saw it on social media all the time saying that it is a really great modern classic, and I added it to my TBR. I bought this one in England, and so this is the summary. Working as a page companion to a bitter elderly lady, the timid heroine of Rebecca learns her place. Life is bleak until on a trip to the south of France, she falls in love with Maxime de Winter, a handsome widower whose proposal takes her by surprise. Whisked from Monte Carlo to Mandalay, Maxime's isolated Cornish estate, the friendless young bride begins to realize that she barely knows her husband at all. And in every corner of every room is a phantom of his beautiful first wife, Rebecca. Rebecca is a haunting story of a woman consumed by love and the struggle to find her identity. The second one I will be reading, and I'm also hosting a reading club for this one, is this big brick. It is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I will put the details of the reading club right here, and if you wish to join, just send me a message on Instagram. Good luck picking up your fall reading list, and I hope to see you in my next video.